Hey everyone. Today I brought you an extremely thrilling and terrifying story, Whispering Shadows. This story will scare you and entertain you so much that you won't be able to take your eyes off the screen. Make sure to watch the full story and enjoy every moment. If you like this story, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Trust me, you're going to have an amazing experience watching this. Sir Alaric, a young knight, arrives at Thornridge Fortress with his friend Sir Cedric and healer Elara. The fortress, centuries old, is said to be cursed. As they approach the gates in the darkness of night, the sound of a hawk nesting on the ancient walls and the whisper of the wind reach their ears. The fortress is massive, tall stone towers, cracked walls, and iron-studded gates, with ancient runes carved into them. Sir Alaric feels a strange sensation, as if someone, or something, is watching them. Cedric says that people believe an old, evil entity awakens within the fortress at night. Elara insists they are only succumbing to superstition, but as they step into the bricked courtyard, they notice small shadows shifting unnaturally on their own. Darkness slowly creeps further into the fortress, and they realize that the night is not merely a test. It is a fight for survival. As they enter the fortress, they find ancient corridors and massive halls. The walls are adorned with centuries-old tapestries, torn and faded, while dust and debris litter the floor. In the darkness of night, they suddenly hear faint whispers, as if invisible voices are calling their names. Cedric initially thinks it is just the wind and their imagination, but as they pass through a dark hallway, the whispers clearly say, "Leave this place, or join us." Elara senses that something is unnatural. Her magical aura feels disturbed. They enter a room where candles are still burning, yet no one is there. They find an old diary detailing the history of the fortress and a cursed ritual. The whispering gradually confuses them, forcing them to confront their past fears and insecurities. Sir Alaric and his team climb the stairs of a tall tower, which leads to the fortress's ancient library. The sounds of bells and footsteps on the stairs do not align with their own movements. Suddenly, a shadow moves across the wall, as if someone, or something, is following them. Cedric tries to track the shadow, but it vanishes without a trace. Inside the library, they discover an ancient manuscript detailing a dark sorcerer and his minions. According to the manuscript, centuries ago, the sorcerer bound his soul within the fortress, and even now, he awakens in the darkness of night. The glimpse of the shadow, along with the manuscript, makes them realize that the fortress holds not only physical dangers, but also a powerful supernatural presence. They exit the library and enter a hallway where the walls are completely blood-stained, and footprints appear on the floor, guiding them deeper into the fortress. Elara senses that these footprints do not belong to any living creature, but to the spirits of ancient souls haunting the place. Suddenly, cold air and faint screams echo through the hallway, as if someone is being dragged by invisible chains. Cedric panics, while Sir Alaric tries to maintain his composure, though their courage is being tested. They realize that within the fortress, during the night, the perception of time and space becomes distorted. They enter a hidden chamber that appears completely sealed and untouched. The walls are carved with ancient runes and pentagrams. At the center stands a black stone altar piled with dried blood and bones. According to the manuscript, this chamber is the sorcerer's ritual room. As they approach the altar, a chilling, cold aura surrounds them, causing the candle flames to flicker. Suddenly, shadows distort their shapes, and hallucinations begin, forcing them to confront their past sins and deepest fears. Elara's magical abilities struggle against the cursed energy, barely keeping her control as the dark forces press in. In the middle of the night, the fortress gates mysteriously slam shut, and a dense fog creeps into the courtyard. Sir Alaric and his team realize they are now completely trapped within the fortress. Suddenly, ghostly knights appear in the courtyard, clad in ancient armor, their eyes glowing red, swinging their weapons with invisible force. Cedric and Alaric attempt to fight the phantoms, but with every strike, the ghosts vanish and reappear elsewhere. Elara's magical chants begin to fade, as if the fortress's dark energy is suppressing her powers. Shadows slowly creep from the corners of the courtyard, while the sound of an ancient horn echoes through the fortress, a haunting reminder of centuries-old battles and bloodshed. The team realizes that the fortress itself is a living entity, measuring their fear and courage. With each step, the courtyard and corridors shift, as if the structure itself is manipulating them. They confront hallucinations and past regrets. Alaric repeatedly sees his failed battles and moments of death. Cedric's fear escalates, weakening his mind, while Elara focuses to track the source of the dark energy. She discovers that these ghosts were once the Sorcerer's minions, bound to the fortress centuries ago, and now continue to guard it in the darkness of night. After the Phantom Siege, they enter a hidden alchemist's lab, concealed deep within the fortress dungeon. The lab's shelves are filled with ancient potions and dusty scrolls. A massive cauldron and strange apparatus stand at the center, remnants of forbidden experiments and dark alchemy performed centuries ago. Elara realizes that the alchemist had attempted rituals to bind immortality and manipulate souls. Glowing runes and sigils flicker across the walls, while a low hum resonates through the fortress's structure. Suddenly, the ghostly figure of the alchemist appears, translucent and menacing, warning them that this fortress is no ordinary place, but a nexus of dark power. Alaric and Cedric's courage is put to the test. They find the alchemist's secret scroll and potion, which could help complete the dark ritual, but simultaneously threaten their sanity. Shadows move across the lab, and traps activate. Poisonous fumes and moving spikes add a deadly medieval horror element. Using her magical abilities, Elara temporarily binds the alchemist's spirit, and they discover a clue that the fortress's ultimate evil sorcerer is now ready to awaken. As they enter the fortress's central hall, they feel the darkness and energy thickening around them. Suddenly, a massive shadow looms, and the centuries-old sorcerer awakens. His form is grotesque and terrifying, glowing red eyes, cracked pale skin, and long tattered robes dragging across the floor. Spectral minions surround the team. Sir Alaric, Cedric, and Elara brace for confrontation. The sorcerer's power distorts reality. Walls and floors twist and shift, corridors stretch into infinity, and hallucinations and fear intensify. He manipulates the team's past regrets and guilt, weakening their minds. Elara's magic and Cedric's sword are put to the ultimate test, yet the sorcerer seems nearly invincible. Alaric realizes that physical strength alone will not suffice. They must rely on clever strategy. The ritual and the alchemist's secret scroll now become their key to survival. The team finally plans to perform a ritual to contain the sorcerer's power. They return to the cursed chamber, where the ancient altar and runes await. Elara leads the ritual while Cedric and Alaric protect her. The sorcerer and his spectral minions intensify their attack. Walls bleed, shadows lash out, and illusions surround the chamber. Using her magical chants and a potion, Elara weakens the sorcerer's essence, while Alaric and Cedric physically restrain him. The ritual reaches a suspenseful and intense climax. Each step carries the risk of failure, and the sorcerer's wrath causes corridors to collapse around them. Finally, the ritual is completed, binding the sorcerer and his minions into a dark vortex. An eerie silence and fog settle over the fortress, and with nightfall, the horrors of the night are now temporarily contained. As dawn breaks, the fortress gradually becomes calm and silent. Sir Alaric, Cedric, and Elara, exhausted but alive, step out into the courtyard. The morning light illuminates the fortress's stones and towers, giving the centuries-old darkness a temporary reprieve. They realize that the fortress's evil is still contained, but not permanently destroyed. They vow never to reveal its secrets, taking with them the lessons of courage and survival. Yet, shadows and whispers continue to linger within the fortress, and the essence of medieval horror remains intact.